What's going on, guys? Butch0672 coming to you guys with a video right now. So OTAs is finally here. It finally started this morning. I was very happy to see that the team is back together. It's where everyone's kind of meeting up with each other now. Before I start with this video, I want to say that a few guys that did not show up to OTAs today. Malcolm Jenkins, we know the whole situation with that. I think Brandon Brooks, Lane Johnson, Alshon Jeffrey, I think Nelson Aguilar. A few guys did not show up today. Doug Peterson had his press conference this morning, pretty much saying that Carson Wentz is a full go. He's very sick of these questions about Carson Wentz's health. Talking about the new players and the new guys, the new faces on this team. OTAs is pretty much about, putting guys where they fit, seeing where they're at physically, mentally in the playbook, and, kind of just getting used to the fact that football's here and, we're ready to rock and roll. So Carson Wentz had his press conference and pretty much was saying that, hey, Carson Wentz is not wearing a knee brace anymore. And when the season starts, there's no knee brace. Right now, there's no knee brace. I was watching videos of Carson Wentz today at OTA's first day. All the cameras are on him. And honestly, guys, Carson Wentz looks pretty damn good out there. He seems a lot quicker, a lot faster. Seems like he was doing his footwork as a quarterback, and it was very good. It was very nice to watch. He was very soothing to watch. He looks pretty damn good. I think his body's in very good condition. He looks like he's been working his ass off, guys. So you have a lot of upside with Carson Wentz right now. Going to get that big extension, and you know what? I've watched him today. I know it's the first day of OTAs, but I'll tell you right now, he didn't actually have a great day at OTAs throwing the ball. He was throwing balls without getting pressured, of course, but there were times where they had like some pressure in him, pressure in front of him, and he was throwing the ball and kind of screwed up on a few passes. But he said at his press conference, it's the first day of, I'm getting back into the groove. It's the first day. He hasn't really done this in a while. He's been throwing the ball, when he wasn't at OTAs, of course he was training, but, getting into the whole groove of having the receivers and everything like that. So talked about DeSean Jackson. Man. Hold on one second. This is just breathtaking. DeSean Jackson is back in Eagles green, and just watching him, I don't care if he was stretching or whatnot when they showed the live stream of the whole warm-up practice this morning. I was very happy to see that DeSean Jackson is just back in Eagles green, got the wings on his helmet, and just repping like he should be. He's just a breath of fresh air to take in. I'm so glad that DeSean Jackson is back. It fills my fucking heart, warms my heart with everything, and you got to really look at this guy and be like, This is really good. This is going in the right direction. So Carson Wentz talked about DeSean Jackson, that they're working on the chemistry. They're great teammates. He says DeSean Jackson is great on the field, off the field. DeSean Jackson, I'm just going to say that DeSean Jackson did not take any time off. He was in this offseason program, never skipped a day in this offseason program this year. So you know how hungry DeSean Jackson is, okay, to win a Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles, do what he couldn't do with the old roster that we did have, a while back. So it's nice to see that Carson and DeSean are developing a relationship. That's a good thing. So I'm looking forward to a lot. But overall, with Carson Wentz, no knee brace, no nothing. I saw him on all fours stretching, and I'm like, this guy's got to be fine. I don't see anything wrong with him. I think he's back to his normal form physically with his body. Talked about nutrition. Talked about talked about other players in the league like Tom Brady. Like, how do these guys get older and take care of their bodies so well? So Carson Wentz is on like a whole new nutrition plan, and he's kind of just taking point of view from other players in the league, kind of taking advice from other players on how to stay, how to really nutrition your body and stay healthy. And Carson Wentz is doing that, so that's a good thing. So I'm happy about that. So overall, with Carson Wentz's performance today, as long as I saw him on the field, he was moving right. He looked great. I can't really complain. So you go to Jordan Mailata, the rugby star we drafted last year. And you know what? He talked about, hey, I'm going to get cross-trained to right tackle. Lane Johnson wasn't at practice today, so he fit right in at right tackle. So they're going to see what he does, what he could do. Nothing much more to say about that, but we'll see what happens. We knew this was going to happen. So because of Andre Dillard is going to be at left tackle now. So there's that. So Brandon Graham had his press conference today, talked about this defensive line, how hungry this defensive line is. It's, it's winning a Super Bowl and then almost getting there last year. But you know what? This team is not at a restart button where like you have to work to get that mentality to get to another Super Bowl. He thinks the mentality is there with this defense. Especially, he believes in Carson Wentz as well. Talked about him a little bit, but he says this is the defense of the chips, which meant that the whole entire defense has a chip on their shoulder. Brandon Graham got hurt, and came back and finally started to play, started to get a little bit better. It was his preseason when he came back. I mean, he didn't have any reps because he was hurt the year prior, so he had to come back. Talked about the whole defensive line. Fletcher Cox is going to do his thing, saying that Fletcher Cox is going to be Fletcher Cox, and that's it with him. Derek Barnett, he's got a huge chip on his shoulder, seeing that how much of a player that he's progressed over the past couple of seasons, and he's coming back full throttle. Malik Jackson as well. Just talking about how hungry this defense, especially this defensive line, it's going to be absolutely amazing. He's happy Vinny's back. He's happy about a lot of things. And you know what? Brandon Graham says, I want to get double-digit sacks. He wants those double-digit sacks, and that's just how it is with that. I'm glad that they're hungry, and they're going to go after it. They're going to go after it. Talked about Timmy Jernigan as well, saying that they asked Timmy Jernigan today, they said, hey, you didn't really play well last year. You feel like you're going to be the same player? All Timmy Jernigan said was, you'll see in September. A lot of hungry guys on this team, and I would be afraid being on the opposing other side. Dallas Goedert had a really good day today. Caught a lot of balls today. Literally caught everything. From what I heard today, he caught pretty much every pass that was thrown to him, in coverage, double coverage, you name it. He's becoming more of a beast after getting drafted and not really being stunted for not being the best blocking tight end, not being a great blocking tight end coming into the NFL, and then all of a sudden he was a top 5 tight end last year in blocking. Now he's not just going to be that blocking tight end. He's going out getting passes, because that's why we drafted him for his athleticism as a big dude at tight end. So he's a big player. I'm excited to see him in this offense and utilize him a lot. Richard Rodgers is another guy, especially at the third tight end spot as well. But he's going to do like the Brent Selleck work when Brent Selleck was here towards like the last 2 years with the Eagles, and kind of just be that blocking tight end, because Richard Rodgers has a big frame. They'll use him. He's not going to go out for passes. He's just pretty much a blocking decoy, as you want to call it. But Dallas Goedert, brilliant day from Dallas. We'll see what comes with him later and how he's utilizing this offense with all these other weapons. So it should be really good to see. Blake Countess is another guy that we picked up after leaving the LA Rams, not having him getting paid that $2.5 million for that 1 year. Eagles bring him in after the LA Rams released him, and was interviewed today and pretty much said, I'm a different player today. I've been in the league for a few years now, and I think I have a different mindset now, and I want to come in here and be the best safety I could be. And if it's special teams I have to do, I'll do whatever I can to help this team win. And he believes in this team that they could win this year. Blake Countess was drafted, I think in 2016, he was drafted a 6th-round pick as a cornerback. And then he left, went to the Rams practice squad, and then went to the active roster, became a really good kick returner, averaging 24.6 yards per return. And on top of that, he was probably one of the best backup safeties in the league. Okay, so the Eagles ended up getting him, restructuring his deal, extending him 1 more year. So technically he's here for this year and next year. And you could have a future safety on your hands with Blake Countess. So he's very excited to get into the groove of things. He's a great special teamer. We need to do some work on. We need to score some points on special teams. We kind of been lacking that, especially when Darren Sproles was gone. 2014 was a year I remember where we scored, I think, 10 10 touchdowns on special teams, which is absolutely insane. But Blake Countess is going to show a lot. He's very happy. He's teamed up with Malcolm Jenkins and back with Rodney McLeod. So it's pretty damn good for him. So we'll see what happens down the road. But Blake Countess, very exciting, and hope to see him, suit up. And I want to see him, play. So that's about it, guys. Pretty much covering OTA's first day. You've got practice, I think, tomorrow, so I'll be covering that as well. So let me know in the comment section below what you guys think of everything that's happened today, of what I've talked about. Sorry, my throat's messed up. What I've talked about today. So that's really it, guys. So let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. I will see you guys later. Subscribe to the channel. Fly, Eagles, fly. See you later.